Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft Dungeons video. In this video we've got another version of my Torment Quiver punch build. So let's get right into it. So my previous punch build used the Soul Hunter crossbow with punch, soul siphon, growing and void strike. This version and that build used an armor with 2 cooldowns. This version uses a bow which can hold cooldown shot and artifact charge, which takes away any need for cooldown enchantments. So we're using the Bow of Lost Souls, which is actually really convenient for the build. There's not actually a whole lot of uniques, especially soul weapons that come with a unique enchantment that is actually helpful for the build. But the Bow of Lost Souls has Multishot, which is actually really helpful. So it's got Multishot, cooldown shot to reduce any need for cooldown on the armor. We've got artifact charge so that every time we use an artifact it instantly charges the bow just a click. It's easier than just manually charging. And yeah, it also gives us charge shots which fly further and faster than non-charged shots. We've obviously got Soul Siphon and we've got Punch. Obviously, because we couldn't use, we've got Artifact Charge and Cooldown Shot, we couldn't use Void Strike and Growing, but Growing is obviously in place for Multishot here. But yeah. Onto the armor, we've got a Frostbite armor instead of the Verdant Robe, which has 30% range damage and 50% souls gathered. This one's gilded with Death Barter, and this armor is helpful because the 30% range damage boosted damage because we don't have Void Strike or Growing. We've got Cowardice and Soul Focus. These are all flat buffs. So Soul Focus 30%, another 30% here, 60, and Cowardice 40. Together is double damage. And we've got Deflect to stop ranged mobs from sniping us. And we've also got Death Barter. On the whip, well, we've got a Vine Whip, which has Dynamo, Ambush, Looting, and Leeching. We've got Dynamo because it's Ambush and Shadow Shifter. If we do 2 rolls or so, we can get rid of a mini boss. 5 rolls, we can probably get rid of any mini boss. Looting for the extra strength potions and Leeching for the health when we do lose it. This build particularly is much more applicable than other builds, or the other build that the other punch build, because we're using cooldown shot. We can instantly reduce these ones, but also means we can have high cooldown on the middle slot, which we're using Shadow Shifter, but you can use Soul Healer for constant healing running around, and it also means you wouldn't need Deflect because you're constantly out healing. Or you could do potentially a Ironhide amulet as well. You could also do a Soul melee so that you can have Anima Conduit, but it just means it's harder to kill mini bosses and bosses which don't take knockback damage, which is the whole point of the build. Using a ranged weapon that can be charged, so like a bow, is also pretty strong, and it's better than crossbows because, as you can see, if I charge a Torment Quiver and I shoot, it shoots rather slowly and you can kind of catch up to it because it's not a charged shot. If I get a soul bow, it's the same thing, slow arrows, but if I charge it, so let's get rid of that one, artifact charge, and do it, and it goes much further and does much more damage. We can try and catch up. Let's equip a death cap and a ghost cloak. You can catch up and it flies much further. and much quicker. So yeah, that's the advantages of using a bow over a crossbow. The disadvantages means we can't run Void Strike or Growing, but that's alright because we do more damage with a charged shot. Anyway, I've also got a small buff here. So yeah, that is the build. Let's get right into it. Let's get rid of these artifacts real quick. Alright, we'll get rid of that. There we go. And we'll go into a mission. Because we used Obsidian Pinnacle in my last punishment video, let's do it again. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like and subscribe and comment. It helps me out a ton. And if you want to further your Minecraft Dungeons knowledge, go ahead and join my Discord server, which has many guides, and you can talk to me personally about gear help. There's also a bunch of other people that are very smart in that Discord server as well. So yeah, without further ado, enjoy the video. Obviously, when they've got gravity pulse and they suck you in, you can't really win that because you rely solely on pushing them back off the map. But yeah, because it's so easy to negate damage from mobs, you don't actually need things like Ammo Conduit, and you can just rely on Leeching, Dynamo, Ambush, and Shadow Shifter to eliminate any mobs and gain health from it. You also see here how bows are much more advantageous because they fly so much further. You can just get rid of mobs from so much further a distance. This map is also especially helpful to really use Punch because you just knock them fully off the map. And you also saw just before you can hide behind any wall to completely stay away from all mobs. And obviously the chance for Multishot to trigger isn't high, but when it does, it just creates a flurry of arrows that'll punch back any mobs. You can also tell that even though we don't have Void Strike, we do a lot of damage to him and you just knock him off completely. You can so easily stay at full health. You can also just tell how important Deflect is if you want to actually keep up Cowardice when you get those sneaky shots from pillagers. If you just roll a couple times while in shadow form, let's go 5 times, and we'll one-shot this guy, just like that. So even mini bosses like that can't be a threat if you do it like that. Torment Quivers are also super OP. Like, just then, you can hide behind walls. They can't shoot you, but you can shoot them. If I just stay behind here, I'm basically immune. Shooting from a distance makes you so safe. Obviously, it can get a little bit close like that. 91,000 health from almost 2 million. Very close. That's just where we use that. Right away. Push him away. So yeah, there's that. Let me know what you thought about it, and please like, comment and subscribe. Join my Discord. I'll catch you in the next one.